The UK is losing $3 billion a year, and this is why. So apparently, digital nomads are costing the UK economy $3 billion a year. Now, if you don't know what a digital nomad is, it's basically somebody that leaves a country and goes to another country and works online in that country. And you can get a visa for these countries to stay and work there. Bali in particular was a huge destination, and it introduced a new visa that made it really easy for you to leave your 9 to 5 behind and start working remote. And he even promoted it on this Bali.com website. It literally says, leaving a 9 to 5 behind and working remotely from a tropical island. And now they've essentially introduced this visa, which just makes it really, really easy for you guys to set up a digital business and then move to another country and stay and work there. Apparently it's costing the UK government $3 billion of consumer spending and $320 million worth of lost VAT a year because of the rising popularity of this digital nomad scheme among British citizens. According to a fresh study from Public First, it's basically saying that long-term work visas without having to become fully fledged tax residents have lured an estimate 165,000 UK citizens abroad, with exotic locations, like I said, Bali, Lisbon. They're proving really, really popular. I went to Bali about 6 or 7 months ago. It's an absolute fantastic place, and there's a lot of these digital nomads there. You'll find online digital agencies, you'll find e-com businesses, you'll find people doing online coaching, yoga, all that type of stuff there. And it's really easy for you to get a visa now. But yeah, this study is effectively saying that $3 billion is just got wiped from the UK economy because of these visas. They're saying scheme's popularity is acting as to the detriment of the UK economy and its public finances. The study said, and they're warning that a growing number of nomads are considering laying down permanent roots in their destination countries. Now, usually these visas are for like 8 or 12 months. I'm not sure which one, how long the Bali one is. I can't quite find it. Visa options for digital nomads. It will in here like how long you can stay for. That one's got, you can stay up to 60 days. So the e.g. remote worker visa is valid for 1 year, and a visa foreigners can stay 2 to 6 months. That 1 year one is obviously very attractive to a lot of people. And then I'm sure there's ways that you can qualify and get sort of permanent residency in these countries. It was kind of a similar path that I did. Like, I got a working holiday visa to come to New Zealand, and then I extended that working holiday visa and ended up getting residency and now citizenship. And that's effectively what they're saying here. Digital nomads tended initially to take up the schemes because of their promise for a lower cost of living, cheaper rents, and a better quality of life. The report's authors also found that living standards in many of their home nations plateauing, and fledgling digital nomads oriented local economies cropping up. Users are staying abroad for lengthening periods of time. So yeah, interesting. The study also found that an uptake in these schemes has risen. The destination's economies are developing, and the infrastructure to accommodate these free spending guests with purpose-built co-working spaces, gyms, and private healthcare. Bali is just absolutely jumping on this bandwagon. If you go to Canggu, you can see there's just construction everywhere, really flash gyms, private healthcare cropping up. Now, accommodation, I wouldn't say is that flash. It's relatively cheap. It's not always the best. Yes, you know, it has a pool and you've got a beach. If you're not used to seeing a pool, then you probably jump in for joy. But here in New Zealand, like, a pool is fairly common. So when I went to Bali, I wasn't like over the moon because the villa we were staying in had a pool. I know first world problems. But anyway, back to the article. It's saying that growing awareness and popularity of the visas has led 7% of UK respondents to Public First poll to suggest that they're very likely to try and work as a digital nomad over the next 3 years. but it's just half of the 7% of the UK adults followed through their plan to take up the scheme. The UK economy would lose an estimate 26 billion in consumer spending and 2.7 billion in VAT. Yeah, very, very interesting. Like, are you thinking about becoming a digital nomad? Is it something that you're looking into? Have you traveled to these countries and wanted to stay for an extended period of time? I know it's obviously very popular. They do have entry requirements. Oh yeah, so here's the entry requirements for Bali. Do I need a visa for Bali? More, how long? Must my passport be valid? If you go to this website, bali.com, you can have a look at what you need. They have nationality tests. They have like a breakdown of exactly how you can get your visa and your visa requirements. I can't quite find it. But yeah, you'll be able to, if you just Google like Bali nomad visa, Bali nomad visa, yeah, short-term stay, guide to remote working visa, how to secure a visa. Your passport has to be valid for 6 months. You have to have proof of income demonstrating at least 60,000 USD per year. That's quite high actually. I would look at, you know, that is obviously over a 12-month period, but I would look at setting up a digital business potentially in the UK first, having a good income stream and then moving over there. You've also got to have an employment contract that allows you to work remotely for a foreign employer outside of Indonesia. That you can probably set up yourself. If you have an entity or a group of companies in the UK, you can just say you're an employer of your own business essentially, and a personal bank statement showing a sustained minimum balance of $2,000 USD. And that will let you stay there. I think that's the year-long one. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, and here's some average monthly costs. So for like a 1-bed accommodation, if you're not going to be staying in an Airbnb or villa, obviously you might want your own 1-bed accommodation. You're looking at $8,000 to $1,000 USD. Internet 25 to 50. Groceries, you can do groceries quite cheap. I'd say it's probably cheaper than that. Transportation, I mean, Gojek, pretty cheap, or you can buy a scooter. Yeah, is that something that you're thinking about doing? And if you are, it is costing the UK an absolute ton of money for people that are leaving and going to be a digital nomad. Very interesting and something that I'll keep an eye on. Thanks.